Biboran brother, Biboran, Ansha Abdul. Perhaps you've heard these words in YouTube videos while playing games or seen them written on walls, school desks, websites, etc. Where do they come from and what do they mean? What purpose do they serve? Biboran is the holy text of the prominent religion of the 21st century, Abdulovera, which translates from Latin as faith in Abdullah. Our prophets say that Biboran always existed. Even before the creation of Earth, Biboran existed in its own vacuum, beyond a non-penetrable shield created and maintained by itself. According to John of the Holy Bible of Christians, in the beginning was the Word. However, it was not God, but indeed Biboran. Biboran is the book of faith, knowledge, inspiration, hate and love all together scattered throughout the pages. Biboran has an answer to every single question that could possibly trouble you, but in order to find the answer you must accept the faith and know where to look for it. The aim of our religion is to destroy the yin-yang, so that there's no more balance of good and evil, but only the good, so that there can be happiness without sorrow, and in order to achieve that, we must do whatever is necessary. One of our goals is to eliminate any sorts of scamming, any violence, pedophilia and other unlawful acts. However, unlike other religions and governments, we tend to use a more appropriate method to approach these problems, as we believe it's most effective to fight fire with fire. As mentioned just now, we try to endorse equality and fairness between our people, and if somebody has a problem with somebody, especially a person of our faith, they are reported into our Bureau of Judgment and Inquisition for further analysis. If the person is found guilty, they are instantly deemed sinner, and the rest of our community is notified of them. They are to be cured by anybody wishing to do so, which usually includes punishment appropriate to the crime they have committed. There is no responsibility time for a crime. The retribution is eternal. In the 3 years of our prominence, we have already dealt with hundreds of these sinners, most of which have already been cured and are very thankful to us. As mentioned before, our religion is based on faith in Abdullah. But who is Abdullah, you may ask? He is the ultimate being, the God and Satan all in one. During his life, Alexander Abdulov was a Soviet-Russian actor. He was born in 1953 in USSR in the town of Tobolsk, which now belongs to the Russian Federation. As a boy, he was always fond of acting, and in his 20s he joined a theater called Lencom, and this is where his acting career began. During his career, he acted in over 100 films, where it was very common for him to play antagonists, killers, thieves, devils, and even Satan himself. While acting for a film, it wasn't uncommon for a dinner or lunch scene, which would usually include drinking alcohol and smoking. As Abdullah was a very harsh smoker and drinker from the early age of his life, it wasn't a problem for him at all to participate in such scenes. In fact, it's rumored that he deliberately messed up the scenes in order to get another sip of vodka and another puff of smoke. It is argued that Abdullah was also a violent man. His neighbors very often reported the police about Abdullah trying to kill their cats as they made too much noise at night and wouldn't let him sleep. One neighbor even claimed that he's tried to set her home on fire in order to get hold of her land. In the last few years of his life, he spotted a paparazzi taking pictures of him while dining with his friend Yermolnik. Abdullah, then angered by what is considered a common thing for people of his popularity, ran towards the journalist and demanded he deletes the photos. The young journalist Marat Sachenko then deleted these photos out of fear and embarrassment and showed his camera to Abdullah as proof. However, Abdullah refused to believe him and started beating him, screaming, "Do you know who I am? I will kill you. I swear on my mother's name I'll kill you, and nothing will happen to me because I am Abdullah. Do you know which country you live in?" Referring to the unjust judicial system of Russia, where powerful and well-known people get off their crimes easily. Later on in the interviews, Abdullah said that he isn't at all sorry, and he is only sorry that the journalist is able to walk, meaning that he wished his wounds were much more severe. In September 2007, Abdullah was diagnosed with lung cancer, with the cause being his nicotine addiction from an early age. However, it is rumored that even after the diagnosis, he continued to smoke and drink. Abdullah died on January 3, 2008 in a hospital. His blood contained a large proportion of alcohol. After his death, Abdullah was buried in Vaganskom Cemetery. However, on the night of February 4, 2008, a ghost appeared on the grave of Abdullah, which quite evidently was his soul escaping. According to the Holy Biboran and our beliefs, the soul of Abdullah rose into heaven where Abdullah faced God. However, God did not accept him, which angered Abdulov. Abdulov then challenged God and defeated him as well as Satan. Abdulov realized there can't be life without God, so he decided to take the burden of both, becoming God Satan. However, as the old god lay dying, he shuddered to think what would come of this world if Abdulov was to come to earth with all his mighty power, and laid a final act, a final curse on Abdulov which forbid him from leaving hell forever. So Abdulov sat on his throne, being fulfilled with both felicity and ire. He realized that there's no longer need for heaven, thus he destroyed it, making everybody go straight to hell. However, he thought there's still a need to distinguish the bad people from the good and reward or punish them accordingly. In his hell he created the hall of judgment through which all newcomers must go through. There, in that sacred hall, the future of the immortal human souls would be decided upon, whether they are to be considered adepts or sinners and to be punished for eternity by adepts, which would be guaranteed 10,000 years without punishment in hell of Abdulov, as long as there were good people in their lives. The adepts would need to perform good deeds while in Abdulov's hell in order to earn more years of freedom and forever be untouched. We believe that the aim of our lives is to prove to Abdulov that we're worthy adepts who did good by all means necessary. Well, this is about all you need to know for now. The Holy Book of Biboran is revealed to us page by page, and the scans of these pages will be available soon in the description. Remember, we're an open religion and we accept absolutely all people of different gender, race, and past religions. We understand that in the past you may have worshipped something else, but since 2010, when Abdulov came into power, all your idols have vanished. Join the religion of Biboran. It is the only path to the light.